also want to have a wall close by. Hopefully you have a wall in your area because we'll be doing some exercises on the wall as well. But we will start seated. So get comfortable in your chair and just take a couple of deep breaths as we settle into our time. Inhaling deeply through the nose. And exhaling out through the nose. Do that 2 more times. Big breath in. Allow your whole belly to expand on your in-breath. And then exhale, your belly will fall. Let's do one more. Nice deep breath in. And out. Very good. We'll start by warming up our neck. So sitting nice and tall, take your gaze over your right shoulder. And then slowly turn your head over to your left. So it's like we're shaking our head no very slowly. Just exploring the range of motion we have in our neck as we turn side to side. The ability to look over our shoulder is important. Just think how we need that when we drive. We'll do one more each direction. We'll bring our gaze forward. So since we just shook our head no, next we will nod our head yes. I like to use my hands for support with this for this one. So take your fingers right behind your head, just there for support. Then gaze up toward the ceiling. And then bring your gaze down toward your belly. You can inhale as you lift your gaze up. You're kind of expanding through your chest. Lungs can fill. And then exhale as you look down. So as you inhale, you're opening up through the front of the throat. Exhale, you're stretching through the back of your neck. We'll do one more each direction. Inhale up. Exhale, gaze down. Then your gaze will come straight ahead. Hands stay behind, or fingers stay behind your head. We'll bring our elbows forward and then pull them back behind us. So try to get the elbows as close as you can in front of you without experiencing any pain. Back off a little bit, please do. Just go to your fullest pain-free range of motion. And really the emphasis is on the back part anyway, right here, opening up behind us, getting a nice stretch through your chest and shoulders. Let's do one more each direction. One forward and one back. Bring your hands down to your thighs, still sitting nice and tall. I call the next exercise the bow tie because we're going to kind of make that direction with our gaze. So we're going to start by bringing our gaze down to the right side, then up to your right side, now down and across to your left side, up to your left side, down across to your right, up to your right, down across to your left, up to your left. One more time through. Down across to your right. Up to your right. Down across to your left. Up to your left. And then straight ahead. Hopefully your neck is nice and warm. We'll continue stretching through the shoulders. So bring your arms forward and drive your elbows behind you, opening your chest and shoulders. Come forward with your right hand on top. Round your back. Drop your chin to chest. Inhale, lift and pull back open. This time, left hand will stack on top as you reach forward. Inhale, pull back and stretch. Exhale, hips back to the right side. Inhale, lift and pull. Forward with your left hand on top. Stretch the back. Couple more. Inhale and open and expand. Exhale, stretch forward. One more time, pulling back and diving forward, and then come to center. Warming up our wrists and fingers next. So start just by taking your right hand up, scrunching it nice and tight, and then opening it as wide as you can. So bringing your fingers together and then spreading them apart. Take your time with this one. Really explore your range of motion here, how fully you can open your hand today. Then we'll hold with our hands open and tap one finger, the next, pinky, work your way back. And we'll do it one more time. Beautiful. All right, left hand's turn. So start with it nice and open, crunch it small. Open, fully expand, back together very tight. So you want to exaggerate each part of the movement, the openness and the tightness. Hold it open, tap one finger, then the next, the next. We'll do that a couple times through, really working through the dexterity of our fingers. One more exercise for our hands. This one has 4 parts to it. First part, hands are open, nice and long. Second part, you're going to hinge from the bottom knuckle, so it's kind of a 90-degree angle. From here, we're going to curve just the top part of our fingers, and then get that nice tight fist again. So, this is number 1. Number 2 is where we fold in half. Number 3 is where we kind of claw at the top, and number 4, we make a fist. A couple more. Nice and open, fold in half. Just those top knuckles, and then everything in. One more. 2, 3, and 4. All right, shake it all out. Your hands should be a little bit tired. So we're going to focus on our feet next. So sit as far forward as you need to on your chair so that both feet can be flat on the floor. And just roll from the outside edges to the inside edges. And notice that that rotation isn't coming from your feet, it's actually coming from your hips. Just kind of waking up our feet anyway. All right, center up your feet, then roll from the toes to the heels. Take your time. Right, feel that whole foot rolling across the ground. Now set both feet flat on the floor and picture those 3 points on your foot, right underneath your big toe, underneath your little toe, and right at the center of your heel. And you just want to plant your feet firmly on all 3 points. And whenever you're standing, that's how you want to brace your foundation. All right, so hands are warmed up, feet are warmed up. We're going to move on. Sitting tall, lift your right knee up and set it down. And then your left knee up and setting down. And you're bracing strong through your core as you lift and lower your legs. We're not, slouching forward every time we lift our leg. We're using our abdominal and our back muscles to stay nice and steady. Now you can stay here if this is good for you today. Or you can bring your hands back behind your head and round through your back as you lift your knee and set it down. Round your back. Think about pulling your belly in toward the spine, creating a C shape with your back. So it's essentially a seated crunch. You remember crunches on the floor, right? We're doing the same thing seated in a chair. So this is really good for our core. I've heard this referred to as dancing cat. It's kind of a fun name, appropriate, so we'll keep calling it that. All right, set both feet down. Open up, nice wide stance here. Angle is coming once again from your hips, not just your legs. Hands can either be back behind your head, or you can just keep them on your hips, whatever is comfortable. We're going to tick-tock side to side. So we'll start by stretching over to the right side, up to center, and then stretching over to the left. So opening up through the side body, continuing to work through our core. And if your hands are working for you where they are, either behind your head or on your lap, that's fine. Or you can make it a little bigger by reaching up one way, down the other, come together in the center, and then reach. And those long arms might get you a little deeper in your side stretch. So if your back feels okay today, everything's working for you, you might want to explore these bigger arms. Take your time, flow in each direction. We don't want to rush it. We'll do one more each side. We'll keep our hips open, but take your right forearm, rest it on your right thigh. Lift your left arm up toward the ceiling into a version of side angle. The only difference is our left leg is not exactly into a proper side angle position. I kind of like this one better. You can just focus on reaching and stretching rather than maintaining that challenging lower body position. Come up to center and we'll go right to the other side. So prop your left forearm on your thigh. Reach up toward the ceiling with your right arm. Gaze can be up, it can be down, it can be straight ahead. Whatever works for your neck. And come back up. Good. Bring your feet back together. We'll give our lower body a little bit of a break. Back to our upper body. We'll start with forward shoulder rolls. So think about bringing your shoulders back, up, forward, and down. Nice and big. We're starting with forward circles so we can end with backward circles. So let's reverse direction. Now you're bringing your shoulders forward, up, back, and down. You ready to get a little crazy? We're going to try syncopated. So one arm circles and the other arm circles. Sometimes it's nice to work individually. You know, one side doing one thing, the other side doing another. Can you switch directions? Oh, crazier still. All right, come to center. Bring your shoulders down and back one more time. This time I want you to grab onto the back of your chair. Lift your chest and chin. Hold that expansion. Take a nice deep breath or two while you're here. And relax. Well done. We're going to do a little flow while we're seated. Often you'll see this done standing as well. Very common in yoga class to do something called the sun salutation. Can absolutely be done in a chair, so that's what we're going to do right now. So inhale, lift up nice and tall, arms overhead. On your exhale, fold forward, just melt toward the floor. Inhale, lift halfway up. You're going to bring your hands to your shins, creating a nice long spine. Exhale, back to forward fold. Just relax. Inhale, rise all the way up, bringing your arms up toward the ceiling, and we'll do it again. Exhale, forward fold. Just let everything go. Lift halfway up, long spine. Exhale, back to the floor. Rise up on your in-breath. We'll do that a couple more times. Feels so good to flow. Exhale down. Halfway lift. Back to forward fold. Rise back up. Warming up through the back one more time. Exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway. Exhale, back down. Rise up one more time. Keep your arms overhead, grab onto your left wrist. Stretch up and over to your right side. Come back center, switch your grip, grab onto your right wrist, and pull to your left. Good, back to center, relax your arms down. I bet you're ready to get out of the chair for a few minutes. I hope you are, because that's where we're headed. So, come onto your feet, and we'll step behind our chair for this next series. I'm going to have my chair, I think, this direction so you can kind of see what's going on better. So we've got one hand on your chair. Your outside leg is the one that's going to be moving. Your inside foot is your anchor. It's going to stay nice and stable. So standing tall, take your outside foot, lift it forward and set it down. Forward and down. And just like we practiced seated when we were lifting our knees, we don't want to slouch forward as the leg comes up. We're going to keep our posture nice and tall. We're going to continue lifting, but we're going to pulse with a pointed foot, a flexed foot, pointed, flexed for 4, 3, 2, 1. Kind of challenging, isn't it? We're going to do the same thing with a side lift. So lift side and down. And each direction change we make with our lifts will use different muscles in our lower body. So it's a great way to target everything in our legs and hips. So this is your full range of motion lift. Remember, pain-free range of motion. Now let's try the pulse. Same thing with a point, a flex, a point, a flex. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Back lift. Lift behind, tap down. Use your glute. That's the primary muscle working here. It should be. Sometimes it likes to make the back take over, but we want the glute to fire up right here. So focus your energy there. Ready for the pulse. With a point, a flex, a point, a flex. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep your leg behind you, but set it into a lunge position. So you got a big step back with your outside leg. Inside leg is forward, knee is bent. Sink nice and low till you feel your legs working. Outside arm lifts up, sweep behind. So another exercise to explore your range of motion. See what feels good in your outside shoulder right now. And as you work through this, you might notice you can get a little bigger. You can get a little higher. You can sweep a little farther behind you. Can you get deeper in your lunge? Keep the challenge going in your lower body. That'll be our last one. Rise up and step forward. Shake it out. That was a lot of work. All right, you're gonna stand behind your chair, facing your chair now. And we'll take a little break before we do side 2. Squat, circle one arm behind you. Squat, circle the other arm behind you. So we're working into our lower body with our squats, but our squat is also helping our upper body to circle back. It's giving us a little power so we can use our arms more freely. So I like this exercise because it helps with a couple different things. If you want to get deeper in your squats, go for it. If you need to stay a little more shallow today, that's fine too. This will be our last one. We'll take a little L stretch by stepping back, hinging from your hips. Knees are soft. We'll hold here for a moment, stretching through our glutes and hamstrings, our shoulder and back. And to come out of the stretch, I always suggest taking a step or two towards your chair, soften your knees, round back up to standing. And then we'll turn the opposite direction. So you're behind your chair like this. So one hand is on the chair, the other arm is free. So outside leg is your moving leg. We'll start with our forward lifts, up and down. And it does not matter how high you're lifting your leg today. Just enough to feel the front of your thigh, your hip flexor is engaging. Any movement is good movement. All right, here comes our pulse with a point and flex. Point, flex, point, flex. 4, 3, 2, 1. Set down and lift side down. And I am being very careful to count how many pulses we do. We don't want to overdo it. So I am trying to keep those about 8. So you're exploring your side lift for a couple more, full range of motion. And here comes our 8 pulses with a point and a flex and a point and a flex. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, I felt that one. All right, behind you, arabesque, lift, tap down, lift, tap down. So remember what muscle group you want to focus on here. Your glutes. So try to keep the work out of your back. Make that big muscle do the effort. One more full range. And our pulses. Point, flex, point. Nice and long. 4, 3, 2. Keep your leg behind you. Settle into a lunge position. Let's turn sideways so you can see better. So big step back. Bend your front knee. Make sure knee isn't coming way over toes. It should be comfortable. Outside arm sweeps up, sweeps back. How does this shoulder feel today? I hope it's pain-free. It is no fun when you have those joint and muscle issues. But that's why we're doing what we do. Hopefully keeping all our joints, muscles, tendons nice and healthy and strong. A little deeper direction, and then step forward. Shake it out. All right, chair is gonna come in front of you again, so you're just kind of rotating your body. This time though, we're gonna open into a nice wide angle and turn out from your hips. Pliés are next. So you're gonna sink straight down, rise up. Pretend there's a wall right behind you. You're sliding down the wall and back up again. Let's add a side stretch. One direction, plie, side stretch, the other direction. So once again, we're getting some power from our lower body to help us get a little bit deeper into our side stretches. So we are absolutely working lower body muscles, but it's also helping us get better stretch. Let's do one more each side. Plie, big reach, plie, big reach, come to center. Turn your feet forward, walk back, L stretch one more time. So big hip hinge, use your chair to brace against, to open up through your shoulders and chest. And once again, to come up, step forward first, soften your knees, slowly come up to standing. Next, turn your chair so that the seat now faces you. We're going to use it for a nice base of support. Bring your right foot about a foot away from the chair, and your left foot is going to be a couple of feet behind the heel of your front foot. Notice the back foot is angled, but your front foot should face directly toward the chair. Hands are going to come onto the seat of the chair. Keep your spine nice and long. Both legs are straight. So this is a pyramid stretch. And if you can get deeper, you don't have to use the chair. You can work your way toward the floor, even just grab onto your shin. But the chair is there for a nice prop if you want it. The focus here is on stretching through the hamstrings of your front leg. Bring your back foot forward, rise up before we do side two. Roll your shoulders down and back, and either place your fist to your low back or interlace your fingers. And we'll counter that forward leaning movement with an opening movement. Both are important to be able to maintain, so we'll do both. Good, release, and we'll set up side two. So this time, left foot is forward, right foot is back on the angle, front foot faces forward, spine is long, hinge forward, and either set your hands on the chair, or if you can come a little deeper, keeping your spine long, you can set your hands on your shin or to the floor. Now if I'm rounding, I've come too far. So that's why it might be good to just start with the chair, and then you can progress from there. So remember, legs are long, back is long. Back foot forward, rise back up again, shoulders down and back. We'll open through our posture again. I do a lot of these because it's so good for our everyday functioning, keeping those organs working, good posture. Release. One more hinge. We're going to step back with both feet, all 10 toes face forward. Set your hands either on the chair, or if you want to do a full down dog from the floor, that's an option as well. Whatever works for you. Hold nice and strong. Legs are straight, but your knees are not locked out, and neither are your elbows. Your arms are straight, but not locked out. Core engaged. And to come out of down dog, you walk your feet forward towards your hands, rise back up, and yes, we're doing that posture stretch one more time. And hopefully you're doing this one throughout the day, every day. Good, all right, shake it out. Find your wall, find your wall. We're going to be using it for a couple of exercises. The first one we're going to do with our back to the wall. Your feet will not be touching. They'll be a couple of inches away from the wall, but I do want your shoulder blades right up against the wall. I want you to feel the wall with your shoulder blades. Your arms come forward. The next move looks really simple, but it can get pretty intense if you're doing it right. I want you to pull your shoulder blades off the wall, pull them back in. So pull them forward, back in. So it's a small movement, but such a good one for helping us maintain back strength and good posture. We're specifically working a muscle group called the rhomboids. They're kind of a Christmas tree shaped muscle right in our mid-back. You feel it? Let's do a couple more. Peel the shoulder blades off, press them back in. One more time forward, pull back, and relax. All right, next, staying at the wall, we're gonna widen our stance. Our left foot faces forward, our right toes face to the side. Arms out to your sides and bend your right knee. So look at that, we are in Warrior Two. We have the wall behind us to keep us nice and stable. So we can use the wall for support, we can use a chair for support. And this keeps us in a nice good line. So think about pulling your hands back to the wall, your knee toward the wall. I don't expect it to touch, but it's not collapsing forward either. So Warrior Two. Right from this to triangle. So straighten your right leg. Take your right hand, stretch it to the side a little farther, then tip. So your left arm reaches up to the ceiling. Other arm reaches down toward the floor. You're keeping everything open. Legs are straight. Pull back up. Relax your arms. Kind of shake out your legs a little bit. And we'll do side two. It's a pretty intense pose. So you want to take a break before you go to the other side. Right toes face forward now. Left foot pivots to the side. Arms long. Bend your left knee. And here you are, Warrior Two on the other side. So again, arms can be back toward the wall. Your knee is toward the wall. You've got support behind you to help you balance. So you can just focus on the strength of the position. Now straighten your left knee. Left hand stretches to the side and then you tip into triangle. Gaze can be up, down, or straight ahead. And rise back up. All toes forward. Come on in, shake it out. Grab some water if you need to. We're going to head back to our chair. We are done with our standing work. So we'll just take a few minutes to kind of cool down and stretch out a little bit more. So once you've hydrated, you're ready to move on. Find yourself back in the seat, sitting nice and tall. Feet flat on the floor, hands in prayer. Reach your right arm up, left arm down. Big reach. Come back to center. Big reach the other way. Come back to center. See what a nice long line you're creating from fingertips to fingertips. So really reach in opposite directions there to get the most out of this movement. We're working our core a little bit as well because we're stretching side to side. Let's do one more. Big reach. Center up. Keep your hands in prayer. Nice and tall. Rotate to your right side. Face forward. Rotate to your left side. Face forward. So just a little bit of rotation, a little bit of twist. Another movement that's so great to keep our back nice and healthy. Our back can work in so many different ways. We want it to be able to keep working in so many different ways. One more twist. Face forward. Relax. Next one will be a lower body stretch. Bring your right foot forward and you're going to point through that foot so your foot is flat on the floor or as close to that as you can get. Right hand sets on your right thigh for stability and it will stay there. Hinge forward with a nice long spine. We'll hold here for just a moment to feel a stretch in our hamstrings. We worked those muscles quite a bit today, so they deserve a nice stretch, a little TLC. in the stretch the whole time, especially if you don't like rotations, because that's what's coming up. If you want to twist, take your left elbow up toward the ceiling, and then reset, hand back to thigh. We'll do that a couple more times. A little rotation, reset, and one more. Reset, rise up, put your foot in. Two options for the next stretch. You can either cross at your ankle and just bring your knee out to the side as much as you can to open your hip. Or if it feels okay, bring your foot up above the knee of the other leg. Sit tall and hinge forward as much as you need to feel a stretch in your hip. So we've got a good stretch in our hamstring with the last stretch, and now we're focusing on our hip. Rise back up. Stay in this position. We're going to work through our foot a little bit. Alternate between pointing and flexing through your ankle. Remember we did that when we were lifting our legs earlier, we were on our feet. But now we don't have to worry about balance and strength. We can just focus on ankle mobility as we point and flex. And then we're going to do a half circle. Half circle with the foot, or smile. That's even a better picture. All right, let's switch sides. Left foot forward, as much of your foot as you can get on the ground. Left hand on your thigh for support. Spine is long, hinge forward. You may not need to go very far to feel the stretch, so you just listen to your body here. Rise back up. So figure four, or the other option is to cross at your ankle and just let your knee drop to the side. Either way, sit tall and hinge forward. Oh, that side's tight. You may notice that as well. Sometimes one side is just a whole lot tighter than the other. So always honor that. Don't force one side to stretch as much if it doesn't feel good. Sit tall and point and flex through your ankle a couple more times. Your ankles should feel awesome after this routine. We work them quite a bit. Hopefully that will be helpful for everyday life. And then the smile, that little half circle. Sometimes we forget about our ankles. We take them for granted, so try not to when we're doing class. All right, set that foot down. A little bit more for your spine. We'll do a seated cat-cow. Inhale, arch through your back, gaze up to the ceiling. Exhale, round through your back, gaze down towards your belly button. Inhale, lift and open. Exhale, round and close. Couple more just like that. Big breath in. And exhale out. One more each direction. Everything out. Hope you're feeling wonderful. I would like to end with a little breathing exercise. That's a great way to remember if you ever need to slow down and relax a little bit. This is a breath to go to. It is a very simple yogic breath. The Sanskrit name, if you're interested, is the Ujjayi breath. And all it is inhaling through the nose to slow down the breath and exhaling out by slightly constricting your throat, almost like you're trying to say ha for a long time, or to fog up like a mirror, like you've done that before, I'm sure, but you do it with your mouth closed. You can do it with your mouth open, but traditionally it's with mouth closed. So let's practice a few times together. Inhaling through your nose, fully and deeply. And exhale with a slightly constricted throat. Inhale through your nose. When I exhale, I'm going to have my mouth open so just so you can see a little better, hear it. A couple more times. Inhale. Exhale. require a little bit of